Hey, if you want to hang out with me while I eat my lunch on my lunch break, then keep on watching. Hey, how are you? Do you know what time it is? I will tell you what time it is. It's time for another Teddy Talks ASMR video. Whoa, whoa. My name is Teddy. Hi, and I'm talking in a very soft spoken ASMR style. So, in today's video, it's kind of a special video because I normally can't film during lunch. However, we are doing a professional development day, and I have 30 minutes until I have to return. I got an hour sped off to Taco Bell, came back, and now we're filming. I'm very excited to film today, as I always am. Um, if you are a newer subscriber, you know that when I started this channel, for some reason I got Taco Bell a lot. And guess what? We got Taco Bell again. I just spilled Baja Blast all over myself. Hold on a second. Everything was going a little too well, apparently, but I am cleaned up. It looks like I peed myself. It is just Baja. We're gonna try this one more time. I don't see a leak in the cup. I think I broke the straw. Who knows what happened with that? Anyway, for I don't know. I guess if you're eating Taco Bell, you can eat it with me. For my order today, I got a Crunchwrap Supreme and I got 2 soft shell tacos. I am going to just take them out of the packaging because I think the crinkling sounds can be a little loud, but I promise to not chew and everything while I'm talking. I'm a little hungry, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat this. Mm. If you know me, I have a really bad habit of eating fast food in the car before I get to my destination. So this is a win because I did not touch anything. Again, I'm scared I'm gonna pour more Baja on me. It's such a reset to eat this right now. Going from like dead to I'm fully awake now. And maybe I should start there. Um, so I'm at work right now. We got an hour for lunch. Normally, I cannot film because I'm a teacher and I teach high school. So during lunch is very loud. Got announcements and kids banging on the door. Sometimes I answer it, sometimes I don't. Usually it's not too important, but long story short, like I can't film. There's no way. It just would be too wild and unpredictable. But we have a training today that is online. If you are a teacher in Minnesota, there was something enacted, I think a year or two ago, called I think it's the READ Act, but basically, if you teach reading, which I am a reading slash English teacher, you have to undergo a 2-year training. So 4 times a year or 8 times over 2 years, there's no school. And we just sit online for like 8 hours a day and we do training stuff to learn how to read better and how to get better at teaching reading to people. I'm going to pause and take another bite. It's very flimsy today, but it tastes really good. So anyway, um, I think we're on session 6 out of 8. I think we got 2 more after this, and I kind of like it. It can be a little overwhelming. You have to pass like modules and stuff before you can even attend the live training, and if you get below 80%, you have to redo it or like basically beg for forgiveness, which I've done once. And so, yeah, it really just depends, like the letters training, like who the uh, facilitator is of the day. They kind of like tell you when to take breaks and if you did a good enough job, and they kind of answer all your questions and stuff. So, luckily, the person today is extremely chill. And they're actually like pretty good at explaining what we're talking about. We're talking about reading comprehension today. And it's kind of interesting too, like with the facilitators and your groups for these things, because they're all across the United States. The bell just rang. I had to cut that out. If I left that in, I'm so sorry. But the facilitators and different people in your group are all across the United States, so it's always a little interesting to see who's a part of it and why. I can't speak for other states. I just know about the READ Act. I'm not sure why other people in other states are doing it, unless they just wanted to do it for their school. But it's always interesting to see like who is leading it, where they're from, and why they decided to, lead these groups and stuff. I'm trying so hard not to be messy. But yeah, a lot of the facilitators for it are like former teachers and stuff, so it's always kind of interesting to um, hear and see why they're not teaching anymore and why they're teaching teachers how to teach reading better. So anyway, um, it's all on the computer. As far as today goes, I didn't have to come in. I kind of wanted to just so I could do this idea, because literally I won't be able to do this. Like, after this year, this is kind of the last year I could do it, and I'll only have 2 more days that we're having these trainings. So maybe I'm just an idiot and I like tipped this over because it's not leaking anywhere. Anyway, so I talked about how I was still waking up and like I'm rejuvenated. I literally just had trail mix for breakfast, which is kind of healthy. Like when I'm nibbling nuts and raisins and stuff, like I feel very healthy. Even though then I'm kind of thinking like it's probably not enough, right? So this is good. This is better than some trail mix. But um, something really weird happened last night. So I am not a person who can nap. I do not take naps. I only nap if I'm extremely tired or super sick. And I didn't feel good after school yesterday. Oh. I did not feel good after school yesterday. And I was supposed to go to the gym and I laid down and I did not plan on falling asleep. I woke up, I think I went to bed at like 4 o'clock, and I think I woke up at 5:30, and I had a mini panic attack because I thought that the training, like where I'm at right now, I thought that I missed it and I was supposed to like get up and get going. So it took a little bit for my mind to like, I'm like feeling sick, I'm feeling tired. I like woke up and it's the middle of the night, but not like, the AM nighttime, more like dinner time, right? And so I kind of freaked out, realized what happened, then I realized I could probably go back to bed. So I got up and I got some water, and then I went back to bed at 5:30 and I woke up at like 9. I don't think I've ever slept that much like after school. Normally my body doesn't allow me to. I had a dream, and it was a dream that I've had before. I don't think I have enough time to get into it, but that was really weird. Um So I had a weird dream. I slept for like 4 extra hours. Right, so I get up at 9 p.m. I'm sleeping from like 4 to 9, so I guess that's like 4 or 5 hours, right? Have a little bit of dinner. I took a shower. I went back to bed by 11, so I got like 7 more hours of sleep or something like that. Um, Crazy. So I felt really good, but I still feel like a little loopy. Like mentally, I'm pretty good. Like I'm there today, but very strange. The last time that I did that was literally like maybe like after COVID, like maybe around 2020. But I feel okay. I just feel like a little groggy, like a little weirded out that I slept that long. Like I basically didn't have a night yesterday. Like I didn't have any downtime. I just slept, but maybe that's what my body needed. I'm trying to think what else I was supposed to talk about. I know. So my go-to Taco Bell order, I might have mentioned this, but I don't know. Um, Typically, well, it used to be a grilled chicken quesadilla with like a side taco and a Baja Blast. Um, Lately, and by lately I mean like from college onward, so like the last like 5 or 6 years, it's always been the Baja Blast. That never went away. It's always been a Baja Blast. And Crunchwrap Supreme with like one or two side tacos. I prefer soft shell over hard shell. So it's always a soft shell, but that's kind of my go-to. But yeah, things are going pretty good. My car has still not started. Um, I also have an issue on this channel with continuity. I'm trying better to not talk about things until I've edited and posted videos, and then I feel like I can talk about it. But I know for a fact that in my last video that I did actually post, I talked about my car not starting, and I got a little freaked out thinking, maybe there's like a part or something, but then I reminded myself that it was literally like negative 40 to 50 with wind chill. I think my car just got frozen like an ice cube, and I gotta wait for it to thaw out. So I'm still borrowing somebody's car, and I'm waiting until next week. It's supposed to be like the high is in the 40 on one of the days with the low of 20. So I'm kind of just um, waiting for it to thaw out. So yeah, when I went and got my Taco Bell, I was, you know, speeding in somebody else's car, but luckily nothing crazy happened like I talked about in the video last time. So yeah, I told a story in the last video about how somebody was playing chicken with me while I was in somebody else's car, and that was kind of wild. Luckily, nobody got hurt, but if you want to check that full story out, check out the last video. I should probably also address too, I don't know why I feel like I have to address everything, but I'm on my lunch break and it's a professional development day and it's online. Um, I've mentioned it very, very briefly, but I feel like to be a professional, or for myself to be a professional, I don't like to wear hats at work, especially hats that look haggard like this. You can probably hear that. I should do it like a trigger or something with the hat later. But I only wear hats at work if they are from the school or they like match my outfit. Or if, it's a polar plunge and my hair is wet, I'm going to throw a hat on. I'm not going to walk around with like wet hair. Also, I wear my orange beanie because it's cold. One of the janitor guys told me yesterday that the heat wasn't working properly. So I really, really hope that they get that up and running properly because I only wear my hat because it's freezing. Now back to the point. Right. Um, I'm just wearing something casual today. I actually got a Winona State University shirt on, a flannel to stay warm, and like this hat has been with me probably since high school. It's definitely gotten a lot of wear and tear, and I kind of like that because it's distressed without trying too hard. But I'm just wearing it today because I didn't have time to shower. I just wanted to run into work. Just the internet's better at school. I actually have a heater off to the side that keeps me warm, and I feel like snuggly when I sit in front of it. And I wanted Taco Bell. I've been thinking about this Taco Bell for a hot second. Which, speaking of, I'm gonna take another bite. You know what I love doing, by the way? You might have seen TikToks. TikToks or videos. Sorry, videos online. When people pretend to be teachers but they're eating, and usually it's a salad. I don't know why that's like a stereotype that every teacher eats salad, although I've seen some teachers eat some mean salads in my time. I'm usually not that kind of teacher. I'm talking about teachers eating salads as a stereotype, and obviously I don't fit that. I don't fit that at all. Um, what I started doing though that's really bad, in the videos, people bend their finger like this and they kind of go like that. It's kind of like a way to cover your mouth when because you constantly have like a ton of people, like admin, parents, students, whatever, and they're all like trying to get your attention. Sometimes you just need a second to eat. You sometimes miss your lunch break, and I don't like to, like, when I do this, that's just like too much to cover my mouth, right? So I think those videos when the people are like joking about being a teacher and they do that, I like that. I think this looks cleaner to me than like, don't look at this. Feels muffled. This feels like a signal. I don't know. Does that make sense at all? So if you see me doing that in a video, I'm not even trying to like do it, but I started doing it in real life just to slightly like cover my mouth instead of like doing that. So I'm not even gonna ask if you track that because why would you? I feel like if you're online, you probably know what I'm talking about, but yeah. Okay, so I only have a couple minutes left. There's no plan for this video. I could probably make a whole video talking about lunch as a teacher. Do I take my lunch break? Do I work through the lunch break? I've mentioned before that some days I have to do lunch detention. My school does something really interesting where every single person, and I mean every single person, has the same lunch. So there's no like sneaking into lunches because you can't do that, which is genius actually. Um, there's a name that we call it that I won't say just in case it's like private or whatever, but it has a name at our school. We all have lunch together. It definitely feels like a community. People always comment that the way we do lunch where we just all eat together, it sounds really chaotic, and it sounds chaotic until it's not. But yeah, I love that we don't have to worry about kids sneaking into lunches. Um, because we all eat lunch together. I'm such a fan of when things are built in or built out of the system. Like why? I mean, some schools have a couple different lunches, and that's fine if that works. But I don't know if that would work with me or at our school. And we just have this big lunch, and it's fine. But I am a teacher that takes my lunch. I work. Well, I was gonna say pretty hard. I work very hard. I take that seriously. And because I work very hard, I deserve to take a lunch and take a break. And, I want to talk to like my coworkers, and sometimes you check in with people, sometimes you just kind of, chit chat and whatnot. But I think people, and I mean, this could be you, like, people that do not take their lunch scare me, because I feel like you're giving that time back to, well, you're kind of taking that time away from yourself, and I just feel like you should take your lunch. So if you made it to this point in the video, when I said it was the end and I kept talking, take your lunch. This is a sign to take your lunch. You thought I was going to shove all that in my mouth, and I did not. Okay, so, just to wrap up kind of the video as a whole, just I decided to come in, wanted to film a video, I wanted Taco Bell, I wanted reliable internet. I know I'm kind of dressed like whatever, but I feel like, and this is me wrapping up the video in my earlier point, right? I feel like it's a little more acceptable to dress more comfy on professional development days. So that's kind of why I'm dressed like this. This is what you would probably catch me in if I was just out and about, doing whatever. So if you ever see this orange hat in public, this haggard, tired, worn out, torn hat, this orange Cabela's hat, then it's Teddy. So, also, not really that it matters. I feel like I want to make a longer video. I'm just going to spew out things because I have 5 minutes, so I am going to go in a second. But I didn't really ever tell anybody like what to call me. And after my favorite ASMR artist video, I realized I should say, like, you can call me Teddy. Like, that's totally fine. You can call me Ted, Teddy, Teddy Talks ASMR, TT. I don't know. I feel like because I'm a teacher, I accept a lot of different forms of like titles and names, and you just get called a lot of different stuff. And if it's done with respect, it's pretty chill. Like, I don't care. There's only ever been one nickname, and I'm not even gonna repeat it because it's so bad, that a basketball coach actually called me. And I was in high school, and that's kind of back when, like, I think everyone's trying to be better about standing up for themselves, but I made it very clear to this basketball coach that, like, do not ever call me that. Like, that's horrible, right? And I told my parents, and it was a whole thing. And yeah, so there's only ever been one nickname. Don't try to guess it. You probably could, but there's only ever been one nickname that someone back there, I don't know. That's like my back closet or whatever. Okay, I really gotta go. There's only ever been one nickname that has irked me, and it was just because it was like somebody else's name and they did like horrible stuff. You could probably guess what they called me. And so yeah, I feel like if you want to call me any of those things, like Ted, Teddy, Teddy Talks ASMR, TT, I'm not going to assign myself a nickname because that's a little cheesy and corny. I actually have a story about that from college. They were trying to like come up with a nickname for me and my friend group because I was the only person without one. And then they were like, "What do you want us to call you?" And I said a nickname from high school, and nobody called me that. Nobody called me that. So never ever give yourself a nickname. You just gotta take the nickname that people give you. And on that note, it's time for me to wrap up the video for real. Do you know what time it is? I will tell you what time it is. It's time for me to head out. The day's halfway over, right? Normally you don't see me till the end of the day. Yeah, on professional development, we usually have the option to work from home or, at school. So I'm here. No students, really nobody's here at all. So I got to film a little video, and thank you so much for joining me for lunch. Yeah, thanks for joining me for lunch. I'm not sure why I thought I said that wrong. It's always a little rambling and chaotic on this channel. We don't do a lot of soft spoken though, so thank you for letting me do that. As I ate, because I was not about to like try to eat and navigate headphones at the same time. Now I only have 2 minutes to get back, and I promise you that I will be on time. So have a good one. I'll see you around. Thank you for joining me on my lunch break.